Greetings, my brothers and sisters. And how are you this day in your time? You are learning. As I come on to you this day of your time, I experience that which you know of as exhilaration within the breast, within the heart seal of the isness that I am. That which is the excitement and the fervor and the jubilation experienced within all of you may resonate this day of your time to that which is called joy upon your plane. Indeed, that which is the understanding of encountering that which is the joy and the brilliance that it will illuminate your life with, if you will allow it to, indeed will come forward into manifestation as you resonate unto it in the moment of its isness. That which is the magnetics and that which you call space, the beyond, the magnetics of the flowing energy throughout the universe, is throughout the galaxies. That is the plasma. That is the energy fields. The differences in their frequencies represented within this plasma is called, by definition, distance. And as you come into the knowingness of your own frequency and polarity, you resonate onto different understandings of frequencies within this plasma. Therefore, that which is indeed closeness or distance is according to your own frequency exhibited in your now. That which you would call your own reality in that moment. So for now it may be close, and one moment from now, which is the next now unto you, it may be afar. However, that is the distance that is perceived outside of you. When you unify all that is and know all is merely one in the God essence exhibited and brought forward into display upon this your earth plane, indeed, there is no distance. This is merely definition for your understanding as you have come to know distance or closeness. But closeness is of the heart. See? There was a time when there was a grand understanding called mountain. Indeed, there was an entity that lived at the foot, at the base of the mountain. And he partook of the stones of the mountain, for that was all that he could perceive in his closeness. And he sorted them and differentiated between them and made what you call piles of them, and they were very useful unto him. And he partook of the joy in his experience of the mountain and what it was giving forward unto him as mirror unto him of that which be he. And as you come into the accordance of the knowingness of 3 dimensions, indeed, you're experiencing upon this your earth plane in the same manner. You partake of what you perceive in your limited understanding of the grand mountain of your life, and you salt it and shape it and bring it into usefulness for yourself. And this is all right. You may experience and appreciate grandly the mountain of life in this manner. But there is another manner, you see. And that is the understanding of the appreciation from afar. That which is not close as you would understand close. And you may indeed see the splendor and magnificence of this mountain. Encounter its beauty in the wholeness of it, and that which is the unity of all of those stones, into that which is the isness of the tapestry of the mountain. Now, as you perceive your life, it is likened unto pieces of a puzzle. Each experience is one more piece for you to understand. And this is all right. You come into the understanding of isness, of God I am in this manner, in that which you call limitation. And this is all right. However, there is another manner. You may perceive each isness, each experience as a whole unto itself and as a participant within a vaster whole. There are 2 opposite, because of that which you understand as your limited reality, manners of viewing this, manners of perceiving, manners of knowing, manners of encountering that which is your life. Indeed, you will perceive all that you would understand as reality, as merely divine essence flowing forward in different expression. There was a master upon this your plane, and he had what you would understand as student. And the student came forward and asked his master, "Please, master, would you bring forward and explain unto me what is divinity?" And he placed his gaze upon a tree, a splendid, magnificent illustration of divinity indeed. And it was bent and twisted. And the student said, "This is not divine, there is flaw within it." And so he placed his gaze upon a beautiful flower within the field, aroma magnificent. But alas, one of the petals was a bit perceived as discolored, and therefore that which is the understanding of divinity was not represented within this flora because it was flawed. And so the entity that was the master queried forth, "Would you desire to see divinity now?" And the student said, "Yea, master, I desire this." And so he placed his gaze upon a pool of water and asked the student to gaze therein. And the student saw no thing but himself. And he said, "There is no divinity here." "What do you mean, master? I see no thing at all." And the master said, "Indeed, you do not see, but that did not prevent it from being there." And as the puzzled student went forward to ponder this, that which is the understanding of the reflection remained within the water, for the vibrations penetrated the auric field of the water and remained there through that which is called the eternal continuum. You see, it may have passed away from perception, but it remained in its isness. This indeed is your life, because you do not understand it as perceived eternal in physicality. That does not mean that it is not. And the bringing forth of that which you call your brothers of space, they come forward to allow you the understanding of going forth through the time continuum, allowing yourself to understand what is indeed this that you call unlimited perception, this that is called unfettered by your three-dimensional judgments. Judgments. Here is the rub. That which you would know of as yourself is always placing under telescopic scrutiny yourself, as experienced through other realities, as experienced through other entities, and experienced through your circumstances you call your life. There is that which you call the priest of Catholic nature, that at one time had donations given unto him for the use of the church. Indeed, the collection plate was passed forward unto him, and he had countenance and encounter with that which you call rabbi. And that which you call rabbi said, "Pray tell me, priest, how is it that you decide which of this is God's and which of this is yours?" Quite a poser. And the Catholic priest, without pausing for a moment at all, said unto him, "I promptly divide it in half. That which is God's, I give unto him and the church. That which is mine, I spend however I desire." Little did he know that the other half was his as well. And the rabbi said unto him, "That is different than that which I do." And the Catholic priest said unto the rabbi, "Well, how is it, brother, that you do this? Pray tell me." The rabbi said very succinctly, "I toss to heaven all that there is, and I beg him to catch what he will." But you see, this is the more unlimited perception, for it all comes tumbling down onto him who is also God. You see, God gets it all and God receives it all, because you are God. The bringing forth of the divinity within every entity upon this plane is why the entities of your space that you call extraterrestrial are coming forth unto you now in your time. It is of the ripeness of time. It has been spoken before that the time is at hand, and indeed it is. It is also at heart. And when you may perceive without judging, indeed, they will make themselves apparent unto you, and you will have encounters of every kind within, because they are mirrors unto you, and you will have encounters of every kind with yourself as well. Do you know why that you call E.T., that which is grand film, went home? Because he was extraterrestrial, outside. And you place yourselves in this manner as well, many times, outside of God, not belonging to that which is humanity. But indeed, when you understand the pieces of the puzzle as a grand schematic of God, a grand mural of mankind, indeed, you will not have this feeling of displacement, of being extra. Many of you come forth upon this your plane from other planetary understandings. And there are those of you whose planet does not exist anymore. It was exploding and experienced dispersal in grand magnitude. Sphere today, gone tomorrow. And you said unto yourselves, oh, but I did not plan it this way. You know, laughter will allow you an encounter that you have not experienced before in your time called universal joy. It is coming forward now in the river of understanding called superconsciousness. Indeed. And I do know that the water is there. It is merely that I allow myself to become enraptured by your light. Thank you, my dearest. This that you will understand as close encounters is of the heart. It is not of the mind, it is not of perception. It is of the heart, the soul, the God I am isness. That is what it is of. Indeed, as you come forth upon this your plane, you see your masters, and you contemplate what one of them is to appear as image before you. And you would think unto yourselves that he is tall and magnificent and splendid, with eyes of azure, manner of gentleness, musculature and beauteous in your standard. Indeed, allowing one awe of his significant structure. But you know, that which is wise master, called mirror, grand one indeed, need not always have this understanding of appearance. You know this? That which is diamond may come in what you call a can or container made out of metal, but it does not have its brilliance diminished because of its container, its apparatus, its embodiment. You see? And they do not come unto you to have close encounters of any kind at this moment of your time, because you will judge them. You will be afeard of them, and you will be allowing of them to be in awe. Indeed, they would desire you for you to be in awe of yourself, not of them. And we are coming to that understanding throughout the whole of mankind here upon your plane. For mass awareness is to be, and that which is understanding of the divinity within everyone and the close encounters of themselves with themselves, indeed will be apparent at that time. And as you allow yourself to experience, you may draw the veil upon that which is a dichotomized version of yourself and merge with yourself in encounter with your opposites. For indeed, many of you do one thing and say another, and do not, what you call it, practice what you preach. Many of you row your boats with opposite paddles, and it goes forth in circles. And you have a grand circular journey. And this is all right. It allows you dizziness. However, when you come to merge with your opposites, they become flowing through the river of life with grand adventure, with grand exploration at heart. With the master of you in your sovereignty realized at the helm. When you indeed come forth from the heart seal to encounter all that is in every manner of presentation. You may go forth and dare and adventure and explore where no man has gone before. Indeed, you may explore where the entity of yourself that is multidimensional has not gone before as well. For in your realization of your understanding of divinity in this reality, it will penetrate the time continuum and go forth into your other realities as well, and illumine you there as well. The precious jewel of the now, the bringing forth of the understanding of the awareness of what it is to be in sovereign union, will allow that which is your brothers that are not extra, and they are not aliens, they are indeed allies unto humanity. They are one with it, and they shall merge with it. And they shall not have war upon your plane, and they shall not have war within the galaxies either. Do you know why there is always war upon your plane? A bit of humor here. Because it is a constant revolution. Do you know what revolution is? Round and round, another experience of dizziness. But it indeed is an experience of eternality going forth into that which you would call allowance of the wholeness. For indeed all within it revolves as well, even unto the atoms within your embodiment. That which is the energy exercised within the experience upon this plane is revolution. All of it is. And as you revolve and spin happily likened unto your tops through your life, indeed, you may be revolving without disorientation when you bring forth the experience in harmony and balance. And what is a harmonizer upon your plane? But laughter, joy, exhilaration, exuberance within the moment. Bringing forth the knowingness that encounter is every moment of your life. You encounter the moment. Face to face, as it were. Enjoying, or not, however you choose. But you may enjoy, it is a choice. You may be in joy, or you may be joy. And when you bring forth the light upon this your plane, in the magnitude that you may, if you choose to, that which is the blending and merging of the lights of your brothers of space and of inner earth, that which you call your middle earth, will come into countenance with one another, which is encountered indeed, and allow for the breaking of the dawn of superconsciousness, of what you call Aquarian. For we are now in that which you would understand as twilight, a twinkling of sorts, a glimmer, a glimpse. And this is an encounter. Quite a teasing one, but it is an encounter. And you may bring forth more full-bodied encounter with this experience that you know of as illumination, as enlightenment, as isness. And as you encounter your entities upon this plane, your brethren, regardless of their shape and size and color, etc., you may indeed perceive that which is glance, that which is touch, that which is heart connection, even that which is tear shed. And it is all glorious encounters. And there is no distance when emotion is expressed. They are all close encounters. Indeed, they are of the heart, which knows no limitation. Harmonious heart pulsations. And when you vibrate with another entity and have what you experience as a response, whether it be harmonious or disharmonious, you understand their frequency. You encounter their frequency. No, you do not go forth and say, oh, this one is 14 pulses per second. But you do know it automatically. You unveil the awareness of this particular frequency, and you have a close encounter with that which is the essence of you, mirrored and exemplified by that which is they. Indeed, when you come to know union, unified wholeness, then indeed you may walk the heavens. You may allow yourself to be free within the firmament Skywalker. Luke or Matthew or Mark or whatever. Skywalker indeed. Thank you, my brother. You know, there is much significance with that which you would call your understanding of film in this time. It allows you very subtly to experience and encounter your own knowingness, your own wisdom. That which is the force being with you, it is the isness, it is the divinity, it is God I am with you. The power, the force. The dichotomy that you call good or evil is to be dispelled when there is union and merging. For one transmutes the other. That which is considered to be good, which is the isness of divine ego of self, comes forward to merge with alter ego, and indeed transmutes it into unconditional love and allowance. There is much more upon the horizon in that which you call the experience and encounter with your beings from space and your beings from inner earth and your beings upon the earth, called God I am. You know, the horizon is not as you perceive it. It is not finite. It is infinite. It goes on forever. And so may your journey and encounter with eternality. And you may have a close heart connection with this eternal isness as it is presented unto you. And as you experience this in your knowingness, you may experience vitality and youth and joy. And your life circumstances forming itself as you choose it to. For you are the creator. You are the universe. Go forth and encounter this universe. And you will have an encounter with creation, with God, with you. Allow yourself to partake of Project Genesis. And so God created a world. You create your own world. And all the other worlds that exist in planetary understanding. For every entity upon this plane exists within the body of their own world. You know, that which is the experience of God is everywhere. Within the blade of grass, within the bountiful brook as it babbles forward. You know, the sea is never full, regardless of how many brooks and streams and rivers fill her. It is never full. It is eternal exemplified. And so are you. You are never full. You're always allowing of more emptiness, more expression, more expansion to go forth into these universes and have encounters with other beings and other cultures, other civilizations, other understandings of divinity. And you will do thus when you come into the knowingness that light is God, and therefore you may transport yourself in a manner that you're not accustomed to now. You may allow yourself to partake of light energy in the union with your own harmonic balance of the electrons. Therefore, go forth beyond the limitation of light. Go forth into the energy that is God within you, and that indeed will allow you to encounter whatever reality you would decide to create for yourself. It is called transport by divine thought energy. As you think, so it be. As you know, so it be. Therefore, it is like a constant panorama around you. And as you change your desires, your experience changes. The location changes as well. If you would desire and if you have this knowingness within your breast, many of you desire to experience space. Do I not hear an I here? Indeed. Before you may experience this in an unlimited manner, experience the space between your arms. And this will allow you to go forth without a vehicular craft. And when you have this knowingness, you will experience the vehicular craft. You see, because then you have allowed to your dissipation of your judgments of their appearance and of their reverence. Indeed, as you bring forth reverence unto yourself and unto yourself through you unto them, then you will be in a manner of equality. And you would not desire to dissect them for idle curiosity or to allow them to be placed upon a pedestal. For either is a polarity. There is nothing wrong with either one of them, but it is polarity. It is limited. It is not unified harmony. And as you come forth and recognize from your breast encounters of before and what you understand as of future and alternate realities of the now, then indeed you will go forth into the recognition of that which is your brother of space and have apparency made unto you in physicality, telepathic communication. They will allow themselves to be your equal brethren. When you allow yourselves to be equal, and when you allow all others upon this plane that you call your earth to be equal. Close encounters of any kind you may have within your apparency, when you know this merging, when you know this union, and they desire not to be labeled. Labels are for pickle jars, not humanity. For indeed, all of you have been many planetary understandings, not one or the other to be selected, but indeed all of them are as valid as all the others that you would imagine. All that you would understand as separation between them, indeed, is limiting them. For they desire not to be separated. That which is of Orion, that which is the understanding of your Pleiades, that which is the understanding of this your within this your universe called Venus, there is life there. Your Venus is of a different frequency, therefore not perceived by visual perception of 3 dimensions. But it is there. And it is not necessarily of the form that you would understand humans to be. But it is equally divine and valid. For all are gods in this manner. You know, upon Venus there appears to be much steam. It is transparent and always moving. You know this is a life form, and because it appears transparent, it is not given validity. Because it appears to be non-feeling, it is not given validity. But indeed, many of your planetary understandings have quite a civilization upon them and within them. Your Saturn is a 3-ring circus. Indeed, many of them are very much like your Earth plane. There is divine isness of the Trinity that has been brought forward as 3-ring circus, but we will discuss this later. And when you allow life forms in all its aspects, in all its understandings, in all its vibrations to be as valid as yours is unto you, then you will have close encounters of every kind. You know, if all of you here were to observe a grand mothership, right this very moment of your time, what would be your response? Would you view it as just another vehicle passing upon your pathway called the expressway? But it really is, you know. Would you view it as grand homecoming? An aching and a yearning to get yourself home? This sounds familiar, doesn't it? E.T. phone home. But this aching and yearning within your breast is your lack of awareness that the home is your soul. It is not out there, it is here. And it always will be and always has been. And that which you identify as your home is your resonance and frequency vibration of recognition that that is your frequency you are exemplifying now in your time. But your next moment you may resonate differently. Therefore, there would be a different home that you would resonate onto. It is all right. There's nothing wrong with any of this at all. We are merely bringing it forward for you to understand what it is that you're experiencing, for you go forth into much frustration and scratching your head about your life circumstances. And that is why we are here. Your soul essence has resonated forward a desire to have a grand mirror before you so that you may reflect unto yourselves, what is it that be I? Here we are. And as you gaze upon this mirror, it is a bit like learning to swim for you. You touch your toe to the water, and you allow yourself to acclimate to its temperature. And then you gather forth your understanding a bit further into its depths, into its glorious nurturing, and then a bit more until you're a wading. And that which is jumping forth with both feet into the splash of it, to sink or swim as you would call it, brings much fear into your breast. It is all right, we are here to nurture you, to allow you to gently swim into the river of foreverness. You know, unlimited encounters and experience with reality is indeed not going forth with a coat of armor into your encounters, feeling a desire to be protected, but it is going forth with a cloak of love and light. Love which warms and nurtures, and light which allows freedom. And indeed, as you experience this that you call the merging with love and light in your breast, it will be mirrored back onto you, and you will experience that as your reality, with your encounters with everyone, not just this one entity or circumstance, but every entity and circumstance. The flame of freedom is within your breast. Burn it brightly. Illuminate. Allow yourself to be warmed and freed. For that is the starting point of that which you call the grand destination. The grand journey. For the journey is the destination. They are one and the same. The understanding of this that you call your adventure of life will be in freedom. And you need not your craft to go forth to experience and encounter the other worlds, for you will have your own isness to bring you forth into this encounter, into this awareness, into this experience. Your divinity is omnipotent. It is all-powerful, not limited by anything at all. Not anything if you do not choose it to be. Not anyone. And you, and you, and you are as powerful as all the other essences that you would consider to be Christ consciousness upon this plane, in what you would understand as past, or your now, or your future. You're all priests of Atlantis, pharaohs of Egypt. All of you are kings, gods, Olympians. And when you join hands and merge your love energy, that which is the force, indeed, in circular fashion, you indeed will come forth with the resonance of vibration likened unto nothing you have ever encountered before. For it will be gods and goddesses unifying love and God I am power. Unified, balanced, harmonious, to bring forth the brilliant light of your brothers onto the plane. And you will unify. You will. There's what you would call experience or encounter upon your horizon. You have called it the grand intimidation that will allow you all to unite sovereignly together, to have oneness within your breast. And then you will be in constant revolution, but not in constant revolution. You know you're all stars. Did you know this? 5-pointed stars 2 arms, 2 legs, and a head. You are all sources of light. You are all the sun in both harmonic manners. You know, I do note the lack thereof here. It is all right. I suppose smoothness is as grand as the what you now know as whiskers. It is all right. I was human too, you know. This indeed that you call mirror is your pool. And you may recognize divinity or not recognize it. But that does not mean it is not there if you do not recognize it. And after the pondering, this that you call student came forward and repeered into the pool and perceived perfection in his understanding of what that is. Indeed, so also shall you. And not only the you that you perceive yourself to be, but the you in all the multidimensional aspects of you, piercing the time continuum as exhibited upon other planes of demonstration and experience. All will perceive that which is divinity. God I am within. In their own ripeness of time, to be sure. But you have given yourself an eternity to do this. There is no ETA. Indeed, you are all beauteous stars to behold of the heavens. Wondrous lights illuminating in all your spectrums. And when you go forth into experience beyond that which you would call encounters upon your limited dimension, you encounter with a cosmic significance. There are that which you would call your trees. Some of them in the cultures would be understood as sacred. And the same tree, the same exhibition of species in another culture would be kindling. You give it significance. It remains as it is. Its isness does not change. It is you that perceives its significance. This is all right. And when you go beyond this that you call your limitation, you do not perceive limited significance or that of human, but you allow yourself to know cosmic significance, which is omniscience and allowance of all to be valid in their own isness, their own experience, their own encounter with reality as they desire this encounter to be, close or afar, and they perceive their piles of stone in your close encounters of limited variety, or they would perceive the splendid understanding of all the unified balance of the stones, creating the divine tapestry of God I am upon this plane. Do you know, without that which you would call the perception of the wholeness of a tapestry, you only have a conglomeration of threads? The beauty is not perceived. It is not known until you know the wholeness, until you know the unity, until you know the equality. And that which is blue of hue upon the tapestry is of equal validity unto that which is red. For all create the design in contrast to one another. All create the experience. All create the encounter. Tell me, what is it that brought you here? Why are you here? Do any of you know?
To acquire wisdom through gaining experience.
Very illumined response, indeed. Master. Indeed.
To see the God that I am reflected.
That was my line. It's all right. However, you felt and know that which is the resonance within your breast. Recognition of an urging. And what was this urging? Desire for an encounter. With who? With what? Ultimately yourself. Through experiencing other divine beings that are encountering themselves. You're all the fishes within the water of eternal ocean of life. All of you. You all swim together in your schools. And occasionally, one or two of you will realize the limitation within the schools and go forth into a grand adventure on your own. And that grand adventure may be the gobbling up of you, or it may be indeed the spawning forth of new life. Both are valid. Both are wondrous, for both are experience. Both are encountering a different facet of you. Close indeed, many times. When you are about to be gobbled, you understand what is distance. But you see, when you understand the encounter for what it is, then you release the judgment of it. You understand it is merely a different relishing of yourself. Notice I said relish. Joy. Even the gobbling is joy. Now here is the rub. Allowing yourself to know joy when you are consumed. But what is consuming? Unifying, becoming one, allowing yourself to merge and transform. See how you judge your words? When you are consumed by fire, it is a grand transformer that allows you to be one with the heat of life. Pain is also an encounter that is judged. So is suffering. So is all that you would call dire circumstance within your life. It is judged. And when you release the judgment, it transforms and transmutes into joy. You do not believe this? Understand the birthing experience. That which is the mothering does not reflect upon the pain, but upon the joy of life. At times there is fear that grips her breast. And this is all right. But when reflecting upon the experience after it is encountered and accomplished, the life is appreciated. Even if the experience brings forth the extinguishing of that life later, it is appreciated by the soul essence. Always. For it gives forth further experience. And as you choose to experience after this encounter, this is another piece of the puzzle. But the wholeness of the perception, of the beauty of the puzzle is joy, with appreciation for every piece of it. Well, there would be pieces missing, and you could not perceive the beauty of its wholeness if you would limit some encounters out of your experience. But indeed, as you bring forth the mirror of beauty within every piece of the puzzle, you need not to partake of expansion in order to perceive joy in your now. For you will be the expansion in limitation. And as you go forth beyond this limitation, you will experience further exhilaration and perception of the beauty of the wholeness. But you need not releasing physicality in order to know the joy. You see, joy is an opinion. And you may choose to have this opinion. And when you do, you will be encountering everyone and everything closely and in light. For you will have a heart connection every time you have a mirror before you. Aha, that is I. That is God. I love you. Next. I will allow fourth query for now. Indeed.
I have a friend who is a president of a UFO organization in Germany invite you to offer any communication for that UFO organization that might be appropriate.
Look to the heavens, and heaven is within you. Do you see? You may all peer through your telescopes and fervently go through the astronomical pages of your books. Aha, there's one. I wonder if there's life there. I wonder what they look like. We do place much importance upon that which is exterior, vogue but vague. And as you peer so fervently through the lens exterior of you, your power is flowing through this lens. You know this? That which is electron microscope and telescope are both contained within your awareness. And you may perceive with either that which is the electrum of God I am within you. For it is both microcosmic and macrocosmic, grand and minute. And as entities peer forth into the heavens and see red scooting about in your skies, and query wherefore, is this one? Oh, look at that one. Indeed, perhaps it is. It is very likely that it is. However, know that if you peer upon your ground strips of concrete called your expressways, indeed, that is also craft with divine beings within it. And that which you call the pilots within the command chamber is just as grand as the pilot upon the craft that you would understand as unidentified. Remember that it will remain unidentified, you know. I did speak of labels, pickle jars, you know. For they will come to know your reality and you theirs, and they will merge. That which is separation by definition will not be part of this reality. For you will be joined and unified through the beauteous illustration of the wedding of humanity. And all of you will be both bride and bridegroom. All of you, regardless of what your apparent gender is. For your soul is genderless. And you will merge and become one of the heart seal and explode supernova. You give more validity and credibility to that which you would perceive as the masters of beyond your plane and upon your plane than you do yourselves. And you know, to give you a pointed illustration of this, that which you would call your comet is a star with a tail. It is given much publicity of late in your time, called Halley's Comet. It's made grand display within your heavens for you to peer upon and be in awe of. But you know there is another star with a tail that is very much a part of your reality upon this plane. It is called Mickey Mouse. Know that no thing is invalid. That is where you got the term Mickey Mouse, when you are judgmental with its use. Invalidity. That which is represented of the heavens is also here. As above, so below. Do you not know what this means? So you have a grand craft here, your stars with your tails and your masters, your understanding of light and love, but you do not perceive it. And if you cannot perceive it here, how can you perceive it there? If you cannot allow its encounter with your experience as reality, validity, and divinity, then how would you do so with those beings that do not look like you, nor do they function like you, do not have liver? You know what liver is? Accumulation of bile. That which is wretched, bitter. In the understanding of your organic structure, there is much difference between your cells and that which you would perceive as your light beings that are extraterrestrial. But yours will be also when you partake of superconsciousness. It will align unto the sameness that their understanding of embodiments encompasses. For it will be light body also, light interspersed within the cells of your being. You will become enlightened, less dense, more illumination, more of a glow. You will surround yourself with a halo of happiness at all times, and not select one moment as more deserving of happiness than another, for that is judgment. Indeed, you are very beloved, all grand illumined beings, but you do not know that you are. Be still and know. It's not such a furry outside of you, scurrying about, tasting of the oats of divinity. This one tastes good. Oh, I don't like this one over here. This is all judgment. For divinity is within everything. There is a golden thread between all of humanity as existent within the galaxies, within existence of the universes. There is a golden thread of divinity, very much likened to the golden thread within all of that which you call your world religions. Golden thread of truth, of isness. They have become dogmatic and limiting. It is all right. When you dissipate and dissolve the limitations, you can perceive and know the truth. The God I am, the eternality, the isness within all of them. Very much like unto your beings that are of your space. Many of them have brought forward limitations within their manifestation. Many of them are experiencing in similar manner to you, encountering a bit of judgment here and there, partaking of the pool of knowingness with their toe. It is all right. There is nothing wrong with it. As long as you do not judge it, you will experience joy within it, even limitation, even dogma, for you will allow it. You may allow it in your knowingness and respect it for its validity without partaking of the limitation yourself. For all has a grand design and purpose within the tapestry, or it would not be there. All the threads, regardless of their hue, bring forth the perception of beauty. And when you understand the desire to dispense with a hue or two, within this tapestry of experience, of life, you will understand monotony, blandness, lack of displaying of the frequencies of light. And when you come into the understanding of wholeness, all of the light spectrum is appreciated. Even those that are beyond the perception of your visual apparatus, beyond the primary and secondary color and hue, beyond your understanding within physicality, it is also appreciated and loved. And you know, life is a bowl of cherries. It is not all seriousness and somberness. And when you partake of the fruit of life within this bowl of your experience, you will know joy. Not a frown. You will smile with your soul. And when you are still and know, you will know this exuberance, this effervescence, the waterfall and the quiet brook, are both wonderful in their own experience. Indeed. Indeed.
Saint Germain, looking at judgment, it so often seems to be an unconscious reaction and therefore happens before we can control it. Why do we have judgment? And having it, how can we rid ourselves of it?
You do not have need to rid yourselves of it, but to embrace it as part of you. You see, it is an aspect of you, and if you were to rid yourself of it, you would be ridding yourself of part of you. It is. Without judgment, your judgment is. You see? That which is the knowingness within your breast brought forward this experience of polarity, this experience of deciding to define and differentiate and separate in order to experience the polarities. That is what three-dimensional experience is. Polarity, opposites. Because of the nature of your embodiment, that which is the electron within you, there is polarity within you and without you. And this polarity is experienced as judgment as well. Validity and invalidity, good or bad, right or wrong, etc. And when you merge with this knowingness of unity, and merge with your judgment, and allow it to be, for it indeed is also sovereign and wondrous, for it is part of your alter ego. And your alter ego allows you to perceive frequency known as personality here on your plane, so that you may experience and garnish wisdom and capture within the dripping pan of your heart that which is divine knowingness. Indeed, it is wondrous and not to be judged. You brought it forth here for grand purpose. It is not to be separated, but allowed. And when it is allowed and loved unconditionally, it merges and transmutes itself. And it is not an unconscious thing. It indeed is of the soul essence desire that you experience judgment. And it is your outward consciousness that shall perceive it, that allows it to be. And when you note yourself judging, embrace yourself. Aha, here is a divine aspect of myself. I desire to merge it. Embrace it. Love it. When I say allow, I do not mean continue judging. I mean allow it to be experienced as part of the wholeness. And when you note this, it will become more and more like them than what you know of as habit, to note it and to love it. Therefore, you will resonate to higher vibration. And because of this resonance of higher vibration, you will be moved to respond and resonate without judgment, quite naturally. All right?
Thank you.
Thank you, my dear.
Saint Germain,
Indeed,
what is ego? How would you define ego?
there are two sorts of egos. One is alter ego, which is based on physicality, which allows you the perception of yourself within limited understanding. And the other is divine ego of self, which comes forward to manifest your awareness of parts of the whole, your divinity. They are both together in the understanding of your experience every moment of your time. Both of them. And you emphasize one or the other at times, but they are both there. And when you come forward into the allowing of the alter ego in love and light, it will merge with the divine ego of self and transmute itself into the isness that there is neither but both. They are not knowing or perceiving of the separation into the definition of one or the other. You see? That you called ego in your past has been a judgmental perception of it. All right? Indeed.
I'm confused. Earlier you said that we look for or find our masters. In what form? Or is that like a reflection of ourselves that we're...
Of course it is. That which is the master is the wheat upon your plane. that allows you to glisten within the sunlight of your universe, which is also you. It allows your bending of to and fro with the winds of experience.
But
That is your master.
I mean, is the master something we can see, or is it?
Both perceivable and non-perceivable in physicality. For everything is your master, for it is a reflection of the mastery within you. That which is the tapestry of life. It is a masterpiece created by the master of you. And everything you encounter, close or not, it is part of this tapestry. It is also a master to allow you to experience what you are as master. Liken unto the pool and the reflection thereof. For you see, the teacher or master knew the divinity reflected. It was the student that did not know. And you are the student and you are the teacher. You know and you don't know. And you fluctuate and oscillate between the two states of being. It is all right. You may remain an idol for a while, but when you come forth into unlimitedness, you will go forth into the exuberant understanding of the merging of the two. And there will not be one or the other to oscillate between, for it will be intermingled one with another. All right?
Thank you.
All of life is your master. Everything within it. Entities, relationships, nature, dire circumstance, ailments, joy, love, indeed.
To realize that in my slumber, I am leaving my body, but I don't remember. And this morning, I woke up, I found these marks on my arm, or the mark on my arm. And when I saw it, I knew that I had encountered some sort of experience during my sleep last night, but I don't understand what these markings are. And I was wondering if you might be able to reflect that to me.
You're learning how to speak, you know. And it's the result of a very close encounter indeed. For indeed you were going forth into the apparency of that which you know of as crafts, allowing yourself to participate with that which you call your comrades. You and I have spoken of this before.
Yes.
Indeed. The bringing forth of the illustration into your embodiment now in your time for you to partake of what you have called proof will allow you to begin to experience that which you have not dared to experience before. And know it. Congratulations. Thank you, my dear, for allowing the mirror to be apparent. You'll move. Indeed.
Since you may agree,
Greetings.
all my life I've resonated with the knowledge of craft and our brothers from space. Yet I've never experienced consciously an encounter of any kind. Till recently, I know. But I'm just wondering if there is any reason why it's not been apparent to me in the past.
Part of it is your inclination for proof, that which is your scientific bend. Part of it is also the understanding that your ripeness of soul essence understanding into your consciousness, that which is your awareness outwardly, was bringing forth its apparency, for the vineyard of you was still being cultured and cultivated. Therefore you may pluck the grape in its full-bodied form now in your time. And the full-bodied form is, of course, knowing that you indeed are there, extraterrestrials. their space brothers. You are the ones that they gaze into the heavens, peering after, the ones that are also experiencing three-dimensional reality and limitation. So you are revered by them. Experience the equality, encounter the divinity within you both, and you will have the outward recognition, perception, and understanding of that which is experienced in a manner that you may become in knowing of as tangible. All right? Both of you. But what applies to one applies to the other. So be it. Indeed.
I've always been curious of, this was quite a few years back, about 4 years. My son used to, when he was about 2, see an Indian in his room in daylight. I mean, he was there for a good period of time where he finally had to take him to see somebody because it became to a point where he became frightened of it. And at that time, I couldn't deal with it very well. And it was easier for me to just say it wasn't there and not let him accept it as being there. It was like, there's no such thing. Don't be silly. It's just, it's just a bad dream. But it went on for a long period of time. Is there anything you can tell me about that?
If you're indeed sovereign, there is nothing at all to fear. For you may walk this your land in sovereign dominion over all. And if there is nothing to fear, then that which is the emotion of fear will not be brought forward into your breast as experienced in the manner that you have spoken forth. This is the teaching you may reflect forth unto your entity of sibling. As he experienced this with the understanding of other essence and other dimension of reality, it was not to be feared, but to be befriended. The reason there was fear within his breast is because there was in yours, and he was a mirror unto you. That which is children are grand mirrors indeed, grand teachers. There was upon your plane a child, a small sibling, a little girl, and the name that her parentage had given unto her was Alicia. And she went forth to a grand understanding and institution called school, grandly exemplifying unto her much limitation. And this is all right, it has a purpose. And she spelled forth her name as Bill. And that which was instructor came forward to tell her, this is not how you spell your name, my dear. Your name is not Bill, it is Alicia. And she promptly sat forward and allowed her teacher to understand that it was her name and she could spell it any way she desired. That which you call the reality of your children, if you do not limit them, may be experienced in any manner that they desire. And they will reflect unto you this unlimited experience if you will allow yourself to know it. There is no reason for you to be afeared. That which is a perception of multidimensional reality is indeed a perception of unlimitedness within your sibling. Allow it to flourish. For as you do thus, you will be allowing yourself to flourish. There is no thing to fear at all, not even of your brothers of space. They're not coming here to do destruction onto your land or to take over your planet. Neither is that which you would understand of culture called India there to allow dire circumstance and experience with your sibling. All are coming forward from other dimensions now in your time to experience union in all manner and form. And during your slumber, many of you will perceive other experiences, perceive other entities, other energies by your bedside, within your rooms. And it is wonderful. They desire not fear. They resonate to love. And if you do not reflect it back onto them, they will go forth and become into the appearancy of one who will, one who chooses to. Because all are of human free will, which is sovereign and divine. They will not execute their will over yours. They will respect it and love it and allow it as you are learning to do. Was this helpful unto you? Thank you, my dearest. Know that the castles of the air are within you. That which is heaven is always here of the heart. Love vibration will exemplify itself within every encounter if you will allow it to. Everyone, even if it is considered to be disharmonious or discordant or argumentative in nature. And when you come into that which is battlement of encounters, remember what has been spoken here about revolution. They also have revolution within their being of your atoms of divinity and of love. They also are five-pointed stars. And there is that which you would know of upon your plane. Now in your time, walking all among you as extraterrestrial, incognito, but indeed here among you. All are beauties. All of you are children of the universe. The universe of you. Peace will guide the planets and love shall steer the stars. Is this familiar to you? But what is the peace and love that steers this and guides this that you call the stars and planets? Peace and love, It is the God I am recognized within all of you. I will repeat and repeat and repeat. It is all right. It penetrates from time to time. Very hard eggs, but there are pores where the light glistens in from time to time. The chick is there waiting to be birthed into freedom and light. Indeed.
Sanctuary, can you reflect to us about Ashtar command?
That which you know of as the Ashtar command is merely the understanding of a federation of that which is part of the brotherhood. The bringing forth of counsel of light into one unified balance of frequency and resonance that comes forward to announce its identity unto you for your comfort as the Ashtar command. And as they come forward, give not your awe and reverence unto them. They are here to allow you to know that which has been spoken before. All right? You know, all of you go forth and desire to be shod a new understanding called shoes. And you watch them upon the feet of others. And you watch them glisten and be crisp upon the ground. And you desire them. And this is grand, for it is newness. And you place them upon your feet. And they feel unfamiliar. And bringing forth that which is the walking within them and the use of them, blisters appear. And they feel more solid and more useful. And yet they are very uncomfortable. And you again desire the comfort zone of your shoes that are falling apart, that are not solidified with the stitch of knowingness, love. So you cast off from time to time the newness and place upon your feet again that which is comfort zone. And it is all right, But do you know, if you never wear these newness upon your feet, they will not become your comfort zone? Experience the encounter, that which you would call discomfiture and blisters, with exuberance. You know, that which is the essence of blisters will accumulate upon your soul essence known as alter ego also. For alter ego finds unlimitedness uncomfortably. And when it experiences it over and over and over again, it becomes comfortable through familiarity, through experience, through encounter after encounter after encounter. Indeed, all of you may have close encounters of any kind and every kind. Innumerable. Go forth into the horizon of forever, the heaven that is indeed merely one moment away from you, very close, and yet so far, if you did not know it, if you do not perceive it, if you do not allow it. It is up to you, my dears. The choice is yours. You are beloved indeed. The God I am comes forth and salutes you in reverence and awe and love, and brings forth honor to be in the presence of so many brilliant mirrors. So I shall take my leave for now. Bring forth indeed that which is the encounter of yourself with yourself through your brethren, extraterrestrial or not, for you all really are, and spew forth from the fountain of your heart love divine experienced. The tranquility of peace and harmony will abide. So be it.
So, namaste.
Namaste to all of you, beloved entities.
You are our beautiful new shoes.
No, my brother, you are your beautiful new shoes. Farewell.